If you've ever wondered why there have just been certain types of obstacles and opposition that you've dealt with your entire life in negative ways, and also certain types of attention that you get in other ways as well, what I want you to understand, who's looking at this video, is that the entire time you've always been the main character. For those of you who this is for, you're somebody who you were literally born to be a star. Some of you have always been influential. Now, you know, on social media, and I know y'all have never, as long as y'all have known me to be on Pretty Boss TV, especially for my people who have been here, one thing that you have never, ever, 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 one more time for the one time, ever heard me say is I'm an influencer. Okay. That's one of the craziest terms to me ever. To me, when I think about people who are influencers, it's people who are willing to take a check and shove any brand down your throat, even if they have no true personal affiliation or interest with it, in order to get to the quote unquote bag on behalf of the trust and finances of the people who actually do trust and follow their pages. So anyways, I said that to say, those of you who I'm talking about being main character, those of you who've been influential your whole life, you probably have never considered or would even consider yourself, oh, I'm an influencer or anything like that as well, because it's something that has been natural to you and it's not something that you ever wanted to do. That's why I'm like, even that term is crazy to me. Like, influence what? You know, the only thing we should be influencing people to do is follow the Most High, to get in attunement with that word of Yah. Let's influence people to read the Bible sometime. How about that? You know what I mean? Shouts out to those type of influencers in the world. And the people that are doing that, I never hear them call themselves influencers. I digress. Those of you who this is for, okay, you're somebody who you've always had a huge impact wherever you go. I don't care where it's at. I don't care if it's in the grocery store. I don't care if it's down the block. I don't care if you're part of a group or an organization where there's just like 5 or 10 people. I don't care if it's a huge college. I don't care if it's a certain job or a place that you go to. You're somebody who, when you enter the room, you turn heads. And this isn't even about physical looks that I'm necessarily talking about. You know, the Chosen Ones is hot. You can't help but to notice the Chosen One. It is what it is. On a deeper level than even what we're talking about superficially, many of you have always had that. Even if you're somebody that doesn't think about yourself in a physical way like that, you are somebody who you've always had a certain type of energy about yourself. You've always had a certain type of aura. Your presence has always demanded attention. Some of you are people who are not even that boisterous, or you might not talk a lot, but when you do speak, people listen. It's something significant that stands out about you. It's something about the way that your presence commands attention. And this is a time that many of you, and even before we get into that, because what I want to say is some of you are going to be very surprised. Some of you who never would have thought of yourself as a person that is going to be well known or a person that's in front of the scenes, some of you, that's your calling. And it's so interesting because right now, with the kingdom of heaven that is being established on earth as we speak, and it has been being established for a while, but it's going to be getting a lot more obvious in this season. For a lot of you who are part of that, the Most High is elevating his children who are humble. Those who are humble are being elevated in this season, because even just to talk about it as a side note, not to digress too much, but a lot of you have witnessed that. You see plenty of cases on it with influencers on social media, right? With content creators, with a lot of these people. What you'll see is somebody will start in a certain position where they come across as very humble, they come across as concerning, they come across as considerate, but then when they start to get a certain amount of money, when they start to get a certain amount of followers, when they start to get a certain amount of influence, I wish I could do that in slow motion, maybe I might slow motion my voice, when they get a certain amount of influence, then you start to see a whole nother side of their character, like a completely different side. Like, wait, who are you? We gave you a little bit of money, we gave you a little bit of subscribers, and you have went full-blown beast mode in the complete opposite way of what we thought you were. Some people do it to the point where they start demeaning the very people that put them in the position that they're at. For any of y'all that sees us online doing anything, don't let anybody gaslight you and be like, oh, what y'all do, that's not doing anything for me. Like, no, our people, those those of you who subscribe to us, those of you who patronize us in different ways, those of you who support us are very, very significant aspects of our lives. Without you, there will be no us. So never let those people gaslight you like that. I said that to say the people that are being elevated in this season, some of you might even be people who you're like, man, look, pretty boss, I've been doing what I've been doing for years and I still don't have a certain amount of growth. I still don't have a certain amount of accolades or achievements that I made regarding this. I'm starting to doubt whether I should continue forward. You're the type of person that's being elevated in this new season. For some of you, it might be that you've always been behind the scenes and there's certain things that you've never been interested in doing, but now you might be led to do certain things and you're going to have mega success. What does the scripture say? It says the meek shall inherit the earth. It's so funny because what I really want to say with this is some of you have been hiding from the spotlight almost your entire life. Honestly, some of you have been hiding. Some of you even are watching this right now and you would be great people to create content on YouTube or content online or TikTok or Instagram or whatever, or create a website or a blog or do a podcast. You would be excellent for it because of the cringiness of the amount of fakeness that exists on the internet. You just may not want to be part of that space. But I'll say this because I feel like this is for a particular person and I definitely feel you. But what I'll say is, and remember this, okay? It's not about what's going on in the majority. Even if there's a million people out here being charlatans, a million people doing fake stuff, people get online and let's say they only want to look at trash or negativity sells or what they say sex sells and all these types of things. Even if those things could be true for the majority of the people, don't let that derail you for carving out the space that is for you in these online streets. And the reason I say that is because even though let's say 80% of people loves trash, what about those 20% of people? What about those 20% of real ones who really is looking to grow and develop? What about those 20 real ones who are really seeking the light and seeking the word of God? What about those 20 real ones who are 20% of real ones who are seeking certain types of content that aligns with their very soul and heart and mind and that will be beneficial to them on their journey? That's what the chosen ones are here to do. We're not here to serve the world. We're not here to appease to the world. We're here to be a light to those who the Most High already predestined for us to be a light to. We're all puzzle pieces of a larger puzzle. And with each one of us doing our part, family, 20% can take over the world. And what I mean by take over the world is we know we don't have to take over this world in that way. In the old days, like the Bible tells us, this world, we know who this world belongs to. You can see by the people that are elevated and that are pushed in the media who quote unquote runs this world right now. But again, we're in a very specific time, a time that has been prophesied about, a time that people have spoken about for ages before us, and we're literally being the firsthand witnesses of the kingdom of heaven being created on earth. This is your time to do what you've been called to do. You are literally the main character. Even if there are certain situations in your early life, certain situations during childhood, certain situations in school where it's like there were repeating themes, as if for some of you, like, I don't want to say being picked on because that's not the word that I'm looking for, but it could be that. But it's like things have revolved around you. Like the emphasis is on you, even if it is in terms of certain negativity or certain types of obstacles you face or certain types of opposition or just certain levels of hate and jealousy that you've experienced your entire life. But again, we're in a very specific time, a time that has been prophesied about, a time that people have spoken about for ages before us, and we're literally being the firsthand witnesses of the kingdom of heaven being created on earth. This is your time to do what you've been called to do. You are literally the main character. Even if there are certain situations in your early life, certain situations during childhood, certain situations in school where it's like there were repeating themes, as if for some of you, like, I don't want to say being picked on because that's not the word that I'm looking for, but it could be that. But it's like things have revolved around you. Like the emphasis is on you, even if it is in terms of certain negativity or certain types of obstacles you face or certain types of opposition or just certain levels of hate and jealousy that you've experienced your entire life. Even when some of you have tried to surround yourself by people who's like, look, this person is better than me in all these ways. They have no reason to hate and they still compete with you. They're still jealous of you. That's because you are who you are. And it's really that light inside of you that cannot be put out, that is ready to shine before the world. Some of you that are listening to this, when I say you're about to step in something that's going to take you to an entirely new level. And one of the reasons is because the meek shall inherit the earth in this hour. And those who the Most High is elevating is going to keep that same energy they had, before the rise as they had when they were holding it down while they were low. The Most High is only blessing those in this season who he knows he can entrust that abundance and overflow to. If you would like confirmation on this particular prophetic guidance, or if you would like any of my other services, family, I also have business, mentorship, and all types of other things that I do. You can book with me on prettybosstv.com. Also, if you would like to bypass subconscious blockages that have been derailing you, that have been slowing you down, this is what I want to achieve, this is what I'm working towards, this is my goal, but you feel that you've been going in those constant loops and those constant cycles, then you might want to go on prettybosstv.academy and sign up for our first official course, which is called 30 Days to Success. I do want to say shout out to our very first student who made it completely through the course, Yolanda. Shouts out to Yolanda. I got a goodie package coming for you. I'm so excited. I have to make sure there might be some other students who have made it through the full 30 days as well, but I know for a fact Yolanda was the first. So that's significant, family. 30 Days to Success course really can change your life. It digs deep. It's going to get you to dig in those areas that you didn't even know was there so that you can clean out that gunk and you can have them pipes flowing with no obstructions. You can find the course on prettybosstv.academy. Also, if you would like to join a group of like-minded and like-hearted people, also where you can get daily prophetic messages and so much more, access to our monthly live streams. We're doing a lot of fun things. We have our 7-day challenges back in the building now that we have our first 30 Days to Success official course out. We have so much going on behind the scenes on Patreon. Our Facebook group is back. Yes, it is our official Facebook group. And if you know, you know. You can join us on patreon.com/prettybosstv. We'd love to have you there. Y'all know that sometimes I do go ghost, a little bit incognito on YouTube, but I'm always on Patreon. Even for those of you who've been on Patreon before, those of you who are there now, and for those of y'all who are joining, it's always an honor and a blessing to have you there. I'll talk to y'all soon, y'all willing. Peace.